Hi, AT from CNC at Home. Here with my pal Calvin the Frog. He has absolutely nothing to do with this video, but here he is. Calvin is at least 50 years old, so not bad for a beanbag frog. The holidays are coming up, and we did a kind of a decoration thing last year. I don't know if you remember this. If not, go ahead and look in this corner here. I'll try to put up a little link to, we did this on the 3018 router. Turned out fairly nicely, I thought. So I've had this hanging up for a while. I've gotten roped into doing some gaming. Okay, roped in. I was asked to, and I said that I would. And we've been playing for a couple of years now, and we've started a new campaign, and it's the Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And what I've done in past campaigns, we need to write stuff down. I've created some pencils. So just, take a regular old pencil and either etch on it with the router or use the laser, which is way faster and does a better job in general, I think. So what I'd like to do today is just kind of go over the process of laser cutting a pencil and getting some text on there. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. It's just going to say City of Saltmarsh or property of City of Saltmarsh. Just kind of something simple and fun to have. So we have a couple pencils around so we can write stuff down. First thing that we'll do is we'll go into light burn and we will set up the actual burn that we want to do, and then we'll head over to the laser and see what we can get burning there. Pencil selection. Not all pencils are created equal. This is an example of a pencil that I pulled out of a box, and we'll take a look at it, but it's warped. It has a little bit of a curve to it. And that can cause issues both cutting this in the router and cutting it in the laser, where it'll either be, depending on how it's bowed, it'll either be crowned or it'll be cupped, or it'll just be crooked in the laser. So it's important to take a look at each pencil before you do it. I'll just show you real quickly how I do this. I just roll it on a table. It's a trick that I learned decades ago in selecting drumsticks. You want to make sure that the sticks are straight, and it's easy just to roll them, and you can see any little wobble. You can do the same thing with a pencil. So let's take a look at that real quick. Then we'll hop into light burn, and then we'll hop over to the laser. As we can see with this warped pencil, it just doesn't want to roll very well. It just sometimes slides, it won't start. Here's a regular pencil, and see how easily it rolls? That's what we're looking for. So when you take a pencil and you roll it, and it either wobbles as you roll it, or you can't get it to roll, it's probably warped, so just don't use it. Let's get started in light burn. With most light burn projects, when I'm doing tiles or pencils, I do have a template set up to get going. So I will start with my horizontal template, and it's just a little gray box down here. Let's zoom in on that. We'll select it, and it is 7.733 by 160. So that gives me, on a brand new pencil, plenty of slop where there's, I'm not going to have to worry about going too far on a pencil. I can always go longer if I needed to. The width, the 7.733 millimeters, is the approximate width of the entire pencil. So not just one of the faces. Each face is about 3.5 millimeters. And with the laser, we found that we can cut on one face and have it dribble over onto the adjacent faces. And if it's focused just right, we can burn on those pretty easily. We've done that in some prior pencil burns. We'll take a look at the Millennium Falcon. Let me put a link up here on the top. That one is a good example of, we burned 9 pencils, and we used 3 faces on each one of the pencils to make the entire image. When you look directly down on it, it looked fantastic. It ended up being kind of a puzzle, a pencil puzzle, as it were. We're just going to do some simple text. So I come over here and I select text, and I'm going to need the text to be quite a bit smaller than this. So I type in 3.5 millimeters, and we're going to use a different font. We're going to use this Gill Sands. I'm going to use the Ultra Bold. All right, and I'll do something fun here. We'll just do property of City of Saltmarsh. In the game that we're playing, that is the name of the city. It's Saltmarsh. So the module that we're doing is Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So this is, I thought, would just be kind of funny to do City of Saltmarsh. And let's get this on its own layer, because our template is on a layer that we're not outputting. It's just there for construction. And really, I should turn that one. Now that we have this available, I'll just turn that one into a construction layer. And we don't have to worry about outputting it. It's always not output. But let's select this. We'll put it on layer 1. It's set to fill. And we will, by holding the shift key, I'll select the template area. And then I want to align that so we're right in the middle of our template here. Off of the edge just a little bit. And then we'll need to make a decision on this. Being left-handed, I tend to have the eraser over on the left-hand side as I would read it. People who are right-handed tend to have it the other way, so I might want to have this over on the other side so that when people read it, it reads more clearly. But since it's for me, I'm going to do it over here on the left side and leave a little bit of space. And we've got property of City of Saltmarsh, and then we've got tons of extra space. I suppose I could put it there twice, but we really don't need to do that. The next step will be to set our cutting parameters for this. So we come down to our library, and under pencil, I have the presets of 2,000 millimeters per minute at 40% power. We do overscanning just to help it look better. And we're going pretty fine on the line interval. It's 0.075, so that's pretty aggressive, but it seems to get us a nice finish on that. We'll say OK, and we'll just apply that to our layer. So our layer, if we look at it, should have those same parameters. And they do. That's really all there is to getting this ready to burn. I'm looking at this and it looks kind of mushed in. So I maybe don't like this font. Let's switch to one of the other ones. The regular Gill Sands. Take a preview of that. I'm just pressing the Alt-P key to bring that up. Now, it's the same as clicking this little TV thing up here, brings up the preview. So this will be a fairly quick burn. It'll be 1 minute 17 seconds, give or take. So I guess the next step is we'll go ahead and save this and run over to the laser and see if we can get that to burn. All right, we'll call this Saltmarsh Pencil. So, Saltmarsh. Easy enough. So let's go bring that up on the laser and give it a burn. With a good pencil placed in our fixture, I hold down the shift key and press frame, and then we get an idea of where we're going to be cutting. In the background, we can hear the new exhaust fan firing up and drawing that air down through our grid. We should be ready to burn at this point, so here we go. Okay, let's take a look at that. Property of City of Saltmarsh. That'll be a fun pencil to have for gaming. That turned out really well, so let's create another one. The nice thing about having a fixture is I don't have to do any adjusting now. I can just take a nice square pencil or not warped pencil, put it in the fixture, and we're ready to burn. want to check the branding, make sure that we're on the opposite side of that. Push it up in the fixture, and then we can start the burn. I have a third pencil at the ready, and last year I had put together just a simple little Christmas pencil burn where it does an image of some pine trees, Santa's sleigh, and 4 reindeer. So we'll just press the shift key and the frame. We'll see where this one is going to burn. This one is a full width of the pencil, so it's going to burn actually 3 edges. On the back, it looks like the laser is actually hitting the pencil fixture, but that's a reflection off the pencil. Before we start this burn, I want to change the focus just a little bit. I'm going to focus the laser so that it's down just a little bit, because we're going to be burning on all 3 edges, not just that top surface. This particular burn is longer than the pencil that I have here. This pencil had already been sharpened, which isn't a big deal. The next time that's sharpened, that'll disappear. That's not super easy to see in the video, but that is some pine trees, Santa's sleigh, 4 reindeer, and some more pine trees, and I just have it on there 3 times. Turned out well. Well, now we have some pencils we can use during our gaming, and I also created a little Christmas one there at the end too. I had that set up already, so I just thought I'd burn it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That really helps the YouTube statistics drive more people to our channel. And if you like the content that we create, think about subscribing. That also helps us out. So have fun doing your CNC at home projects. Oops.